Amelia Island has been one of the best kept secrets in the history of the United States, I believe.
There are stories of pirates arriving here and putting their masted schooners in our harbor, the jewel of Amelia Island.
It was once the back door to America because of the deep harbors that it had.
When you think about the history, it's the old world coming to the new world.
They definitely did bury treasure here. There's been accounts of people finding stuff all over this island.
A little kid was playing out making mud pies, and he dug up a can, and it had like $30,000 worth of gold coins in it.
You pick up something on the beach that's been laying there for over 300 years, you know that someone was here.
All the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, anybody has been here.
He would write these stories and introduce Amelia Island and Fernandina Beach to some of the wealthiest people in the world. And he would drive them to come back to Amelia Island in search of this lost treasure.
'Love Amelia has been telling the island's story for a while, but we never knew this part of its hidden history. You could call it the real-life treasure island. The first stop in our exploration, the Amelia Island Museum of History.
Amelia Island is named after King George's daughter, Princess Amelia. Well, there was a gentleman that came through here by the name of Oglethorpe. And Oglethorpe knew of Princess Amelia and thought if he could connect with King George, he could probably have some funding for his ideas and his dream. So he said, I would like to name this island I found near to a place where I have a plantation and I'm building and expanding into what is called Georgia. And I would like to name it after your daughter. She is fair, she is beautiful. This island is perfect to have her namesake.
My great-grandfather's name is T. Howard Kelly. He was born on Amelia Island. He was a writer, and he would write beautiful stories about Amelia Island, and he would have them printed in the New York Times or the Florida Union or other big publications that he was working for at the time, like Esquire magazine. He would write these stories, and he would go out there and he would introduce Amelia Island and Fernandina Beach to some of the wealthiest people in the world, the Carnegies and families like that. And he would drive them to come back to Amelia Island in search of this lost treasure.
I met T. Howard Kelly once when I was a kid. I was about 12, 13 years old. I worked for his wife and the family for a little over 32, 33 years. He would tell us stories about the treasures that was here on the island.
And these guys, his group of millionaire buddies, they would gather up and have these treasure excursions on the island. They would come into the harbor here with their yachts and get together and come up with a strategic plan, and they would go out and barrage the jungles of Amelia. That's what they called it back then. Yeah, the
rich sportsman to seek buried pirates'
That's right.
gold.
Hemingway was here.
Really?
Yeah, he was a writer. He was here, and he ended up in Key West, but he used to come here and see Mr. Howard.
They could come out of the hotels, hook up with the local people, go on excursions that allowed them to explore the island, explore the beaches, and hear tales of pirate treasures, and how shall I say, infamous people that may have left their mark here.
We're talking pre-World War II. So there's one thing that hasn't been invented yet, the metal detector.
Oh.
They were out
How did they
scavenging
do it?
rakes, hose, intestinal fortitude. I mean, no insect spray, no snake chaps. No, they were brave back then, and they actually were successful at it. They found lots of treasure.
So when they would find these coins that would date back to the 1700s and the 1800s, it was only their assumption that it was pirate treasure.